Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hubba hubba.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Zedos Game podcast. Today we are talking about Star Wars exclusively. So if you don't know what Star Wars is, that's not my problem. What exactly are we getting into the nitty gritty about?
We're just talking about all the Disney announcements and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's literally it.
Okay. Introducing Salmon.
How you doing?
Salmon, how you doing, mate? And we've got John here. You've been on before. You've been on once before, right?
Yeah, I've been on before. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
maybe once or twice.
I think maybe twice because I was away. For a couple. Yeah, I was away for a couple.
Have you guys not done one? I swear you guys have been on one.
This year's been such a weird crash bag of a year. I just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
It's definitely been. Yeah, I've been one with you, and then I was on another time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah. How many times you been on, John? About 4 times. This is your fourth time?
I think twice. I think this is my third time.
Third time. Okay.
Because you've been on my channel once as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've been on here like twice. This is my third time now.
And your channel's Silo Ren or
Krylo Ren.
Krylo Ren.
Yeah, okay. I just cry about the Disney trilogy a lot.
Yeah.
And then cry tears of joy on the Mandalorian series. That's another video. That's another video for another time.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Yeah. So.
Well, you've got a YouTube and a Twitter page, right?
Yeah, I've got a Twitter page. Yeah. It's Martin John Wright. Well.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to visit that, you know where to go, and you'll mention it again at the end. So, okay, guys, where do we go from here? Because I'm not well versed in Star Wars that much anymore in terms of the Disney Plus stuff. So, I'll let Sacha or whoever take it away.
All right, so we're going to start off with Star Wars: A Droid Story. Who's excited for this one?
I don't know what to say about this one.
It's clearly aimed at the kids, okay? So I guess it's not part of the continuity. Maybe it's like the original Droids cartoon where it's just them two, R2 and 3PO getting in adventures. I mean, that's what she said on the thing. I mean, you know what? Like, cool, I guess. Like, I'm assuming they're going with the Star Wars Resistance kind of vibe because they didn't really show anything of it other than, hey, it's coming. Or is it with Disney? You can never tell with Star Wars and Disney because there's a lot of it's coming and now it's not, hence Rian Johnson's trilogy. But, droids, I mean, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. There was a Droids comic back in the day with them two going on crazy adventures, but we'll see what happens. It's clearly aimed at kids. I'm pro it until it's not a thing. I'm not really looking at it as part of the bigger continuity of stuff. You know what I mean? I just see it as like side quest, cool. I'll either like it or I'll be like, okay, it's all right for kids. You know what I mean? But thoughts, guys?
I think it's just going to be for the kids, and that's really it. I mean, I think they paid a lot of money, so they have to drag every penny out of this thing. So as much as they can split it apart, make more parts out of it, any small inkling they can find, like any small character they can find, they can have somewhat a series or a cartoon or something, animation or something. I think they'll do it. And that's what I'm expecting from this, really. It's going to be a range of that, but tons of products. New Disney stores with tons of stuffed animals and so on. That's what I'm thinking.
It's not worth that much. It's probably going to be a bit of fun for the kids. Maybe I can get my little one into that. Maybe maybe that's something that you'll like. Yeah, like literally, I'll try and get into Star Wars. But I just it's nothing that's probably it's not going to interest me. Probably not. Nah. Like I don't really, like it's not really something worth talking about. I don't think in terms of like, it's just going to be a bit of fun, right?
Yeah.
Interesting thing to say though, it's been handled by ILM exclusively with their animation department, so it's not being hooded off to a different, to like a different thing. I'm interested a little bit from an effects point of view because, if it's done solely by ILM, like as a production, I mean, the last time they did that was Rango, when they were trying to enter into the Pixar League. So that as a couple of shorts on Disney Plus, that kind of says a lot in terms of what they're trying to push with visual effects, I think. So I think it might, from an effects standpoint, not looking at it on how it affects Star Wars as a brand and stuff, there might be something there. I don't know.
Well, I think if it's like this is just about droids, is it?
Yeah, it's just R2 and 3PO going on crazy adventures.
Yeah, then it'd be like the remember the show in the 90s, Droid?
The 80s, yeah, that's the one. 90s over here.
I think it will be similar to that. If it's similar to, I liked Droids. That was my it was a thing before the thing I was watching. Do you know sometimes when you get into the thing that you watch before the thing, you start just actually all right. And I had fond memories of droids, and
Boba Fett shows up in that.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he shows up in that. He just randomly pops his head and just like, hey.
And so because I reckon that sounds like it's right up Lucas's road, having no actors. You could do what he wants. Okay, I want this robot to be here, and this thing happens here, and the thing over here, and he'll be able to. It's a blank canvas. If he does anything, he'll probably come to direct an episode of that, and he'll probably direct the first episode. That's my prediction, and that will make him rather happy. Well, he's done his little corner of Star Wars, the thing that he wanted to do, and without any hassle from the mouse, and he can do what he wants. As you said, I think it'll be light. It's anything that I think expands the universe a little bit, and they can do that with familiar characters like 3PO and R2. They can go to other planets. They can do whatever the hell they do in their crazy adventures and meet different part. Yeah, just I think that will expand the universe a little bit, just a little bit. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, like, to sound negative, basically, like, there's going to have to be a time when Disney try and make their own characters. So, like, it's all good, well and good using R2 and 3PO, but there's going to be a time when they need to make some of their own droids. And there are some good droids that have been made in, like, say, Rogue One. There's, like, the droid there that with Andor is pretty good. And also the droids in The Mandalorian are actually pretty good as well in season 1. So yeah, I think they can do like their own content, but I think they should do more now. Like, we can't keep recycling like 3PO and R2.
I mean, they don't want to.
They are good characters.
Yeah,
they are good characters. I'm not saying they're not.
And because they're familiar, it would be easier to we'll use these familiar characters going to unfamiliar territory, and then again. Yeah,
and hopefully, maybe they they can meet characters. Hopefully, they do. But I don't know yet. But
do you think? I mean, you have BB-8 in this trilogy.
BB-8 isn't. I thought BB-8 was an alright droid. I didn't mind BB-8 as much, to be honest. I don't think BB-8 was the best droid, but I didn't hate BB-8.
Yeah, I mean, like, BB-8 was more or less a substitute to R2 in every sense of the way. I think the only difference between him and R2 was that he was a ball and he like spun around and shit. That's the only difference, really. R2's still the baddest motherfucker in the galaxy. But you know what?
Course, yeah.
You know what? In terms of Disney and their bunch of droids, look, for me personally, John will know exactly what I'm talking about. You, Salmon, Joe, you might be like, who? There's a droid that won my heart, okay, and it's quite possibly my favorite character in all of Star Wars, and it is Chopper from fucking Star Wars Rebels. They literally made a droid, an R2 unit, that was completely the opposite to R2-D2. And to quote Dave Filoni, to quote Dave Filoni, if R2-D2 is the faithful dog or Chopper's the cat, okay, Chopper doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. And the reason, if you saw this droid in fucking Rebels, it added so much personality to him that it was just like, oh my god, he's possibly the best character in the whole of Star Wars. Like literally, like disgruntled.
Yeah, so many moments as well.
So many moments and so many comedic moments, but not in a slapsticky kind of way. In a oh my god, that was genuinely funny. He is a sick character, and like, hey, if I could get Chopper in the show, fuck R2 and 3PO, I'd watch a whole Chopper fucking show, man. He's just wicked, because that's a character. Now Rebels has kind of done its thing and it's over. What happened to Chopper? Maybe he's with Hera Syndulla, maybe, but then who knows? He might have been like somewhere else. He might be with some other owners and shit. We don't know. So that's why every time I see him in like a video game and stuff, because he's one of those droids where they just throw him in shit. Because he's in Rogue One, and I think that's I think that's his only live action appearance. But like, we need some Chopper love, man.
I hear you, but the thing is about BB-8 is that it is a kid magnet, man.
Oh yeah, it's the gimmick. It's the gimmick.
It's not the gimmick, the noise and everything. I mean, if you ever walk around Disney store, which I happen to do because I got a little nephew, and dude, they just run after them. The soft toys too, the little noise making machine. I mean, they are money makers, you know. So I doubt they wouldn't put that in. They would. I mean, it would be probably one of the main, if not coming out with a brand new Android.
It's definitely not any of the characters in the films.
But it's going to be something like that. But it will be like that. You need a squishy little
one of the main.
Go on, Joe.
Sorry, I was just going to say that's actually one of the main themes with most of these announcements. Is none of them are directly related to the Disney trilogy, which is actually interesting. Like it's almost like they don't want to acknowledge it.
When you're at an investment meeting with your investors, you don't talk your failures. Just saying. So
no, you tend to acknowledge some, because what you have to do is try to differentiate between your thought and what has happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So if they're kind of trying to put a gap between what they've already done into what they're going to do, they will definitely put a gap. They will acknowledge some parts of the good things. I mean, like I said, that thing made money because a lot of people bought that little squishy toy. So I'm quite sure they'll come up with something similar, if not using the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have the Lando Calrissian limited series for Disney Plus. So they haven't actually said whether it's Billy D or Donald Glover. My bets are on Donald Glover, because why revisit the character? You know what I mean? And as much as I love Billy D, I don't want to see that era of Star Wars myself personally. And considering I know Solo wasn't a hit, but it was the biggest, most watched movie on Disney Plus at one point. And, it was acknowledged by the higher ups at Disney that, holy shit, this thing's gaining a lot of traction. So in the past year, Ron Howard's spoken out about it. Quite a lot of people with clout have spoken out about, there's been talks. So I think it will be Donald Glover. I think they're going to work Han and Chewie in it, but they're remarketing those characters in a different kind of way. So Lando's a popular character. Donald Glover's a huge star at the minute with his TV show and his rapping and everything. So like, it's a no-brainer really. I want to see a Lando series, to be honest. He had his own comic. It was really cool, apparently. However, like with a lot of these shows that are coming out, I'm about who's behind it. And I haven't heard any key word. That's all great. They're doing a Lando show. But for me, it's like, who's the showrunner? Who are the writers? Who are the people in charge of this one? We don't know at this point. So we'll see. If they said Ron Howard was in charge, because obviously he did the movie, and Lawrence Kasdan, I'd be like, okay, well, we're thrown up, we're coming off the movie. They did a good job with that one. Give them that section of Star Wars, fine. You know what I mean? But for me, with these IPs, I'm going to say this multiple times, it depends. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, oh my God, Star Wars, like how I was, at the beginning of us doing the podcast show. I'm literally like optimistic with caution. You know what I mean? Because like if they pick the wrong writer, if they pick a Rian Johnson or a JJ, I'll be upset. You know what I mean?
I think JJ gets a lot of flack. He didn't even want to do it.
Yeah, that is true. He didn't want to do it. He was like, he didn't want to be the guy. So
and so I feel for the guy, because if someone came to me and asked me, hey, here's $1 billion, do you want to direct the next Star Wars film? Hell no. No. Get Star Wars away from me.
I think Disney went Ray Donovan on him. I think it was a blackmail job.
Maybe.
The thing about that Solo and everything, they came out at the wrong time. And there was also like Star Wars fatigue, man. There was a bunch of movies coming out. I mean, big blockbusters coming out, and Star Wars sort of got drowned out.
Yeah, it was coming off The Last Jedi, which split the fandom. You know what I mean? People like myself, I hated it. There are other people like my friend Greg, who's been on the podcast. He loved it.
It's not a good film. It's not a good Star Wars film. It's not a good Star Wars film.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I don't even think it's a good film. I liked it.
I'm like the only one here, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I know people like you, Salmon. I know a lot of people that do like it. But it split the fandom. You know what I mean? It split the fandom. People that would have jumped on a Solo movie so there's numbers of factors. There's that one. There was that one. The fact that it came 6 months after Last Jedi, it should have come out. They should have moved it to Christmas, because nothing came out that Christmas as well. So they had the Christmas spot free anyway. And the other thing is, then put it in summer. It came out 2 weeks after.
Avengers,
Avengers Infinity War. And, you're coming off one of the biggest movies of all time.
It's still coming off, dude. Yeah. 2 weeks is not that much time with Avengers, because there's so many people wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Even after 2 weeks, it was still packed up. It was about
Avengers
6 weeks until it started trailing somewhat.
Yeah, if you've got your money to go to the cinema, you want to see Avengers. You know what I mean? And if you're a Star Wars fan, you're like, fuck Star Wars because of fucking the last movie. You know what I mean? Like, if you're someone like me anyway. And that's kind of what happened. And the third thing, there's a third factor, and that was because we've got a new guy playing Han Solo, and it's not Harrison Ford. He's unproven. He did a good job in the end, like when you watch the movie. But, before going in, we just had a movie where we had Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? So to change it up, you know what I mean? A year and a half later.
There's another thing. You've got the last three filmmakers, like directors of the Star Wars films, were somewhat similar. And then you had Ron Howard. Ron Howard does epic movies, like movies that have a pace, the old school, formula of, speed up, slow down, and finish at the high, sort of thing. Yeah. He follows that, formula. He does that in every film. You watch a Ron Howard movie, at the end of the day that it's a Ron Howard movie. You don't have to know that. You have to know from the beginning that he's the one who made it. Halfway through, you'll know it, and that's the thing. It was quite different as well. It took a lot of people.
Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, because during the making of Solo, he wasn't the original director. They actually hired. No, they hired the Into the Spider-Verse and 21 Jump Street guys, Lord and Miller, to direct Solo, and they got fired literally 80% of the way through filming because they pissed off the producers by not sticking to the script. Another reason why it was a flop. So that, obviously the higher ups, Disney and Lucasfilm, they didn't like what was put out. Even the actors complained as well because what they signed on for wasn't what they were doing. And it all came down to Lord and Miller are great directors and they're really good at what they do.
Yeah, they got an Oscar to prove it.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is, they're fans as well. So I'm kind of interested to see what they filmed, to be quite honest, or deleted scenes, because it would be really interesting to see. But the thing is, they come from the comedy world where they're used to ad-libbing and, trying new stuff out. And when you're on a comedy, you have the luxury of like fucking about and, taking an extra time to do scenes and stuff. When you're on a $200 million movie that isn't a comedy, that's more serious and with a bit, little bit of a budget behind it. With
an origin film, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of like people like looking at that going, well, why are we still shooting this scene which should have been completed in day one worth of shooting? You know what I mean? And they were behind schedule and stuff. So obviously the higher ups, they got mad. They fired them both. They brought on Ron Howard. Ron Howard stuck to the script. They kept what worked with the Lord and Miller stuff, but a lot of it was cut out. For example, Thandie Newton's character never met Ron Howard because all of
Thandie Newton.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Thandie Newton. Yeah, she never shot a day with Ron Howard. She shot all her scenes with Lord and Miller. So that's probably why it feels disjointed. Inconsistent to Ron Howard's normal style, because he had to adopt what was left over and still still finish it and stick to what was originally intended. So I think Ron Howard saved that movie, to be quite honest. But at the same time, with the reshoot, he reshot quite a lot of the movie, a big chunk of the movie, where it's a completely different cut. And this movie went into like over 300 million or something. What was the budget? If you Google it, you'll see the budget, because originally it was going to have a $200 million budget, and then it Solo's.
Pretty sure, it rose to 300
budget. Sure. Okay. 275 million according to Google.
Yeah, I've just put it on screen.
Oh, have you put it on screen? Yeah.
Yeah. I can use the web now with OBS.
Okay, cool. So 275 million, I think it should say, but yeah. They went over budget basically, and with it being a flop as well, it's not it didn't stand a chance of making its money back, because obviously you got another 100 million in marketing as well. So it was crazy times for them. That movie was dead the minute it came into theaters, you know what I mean? And what won it over was word of mouth over the years, because over the years, people that gave it a chance, like I remember John had never seen it when we were working at Sega. I convinced him. I said, bro, trust me, it's all right. I dashed him the DVD on his desk, and he went and checked it out. He was like, you know what? You're right. Like, it's actually all right. And I know quite a few friends of mine where I've just dashed the DVD. I was like, no, check it out. And then they've come back to me and like, yeah, it was actually pretty good. And that's what's happened with Disney Plus. Disney Plus has kind of opened up a new lease of life for it, because people are rediscovering that particular movie. And obviously because Disney Plus are looking for content, they're like, this is hitting, you know what I mean? And like I said earlier, it was their number one movie for quite a few weeks on Disney Plus, because people were rediscovering it. And there'd be there was even like a Twitter movement, like where's Solo 2? So this is, this Lando series is a reaction to, the interest basically. And I think Disney Plus is a perfect platform to do something like this. And, I guess it's another way we can see some of those story threads from Solo like wrap up as well. So it'll be interesting to see. It's not the Solo 2 that we all envision, but, at least they're going down a route with those characters, or at least that's what I think it is. Unless it is like, sequel trilogy Lando doing some shit, playing chess and
playing chess.
whatever it is Billy D does,
That would be the trailer, him playing chess.
Him playing chess, just chilling.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. I'm interested to see some Lando action. It's always nice to get more Star Wars content, and whilst Lando is like a sort of main character in the original trilogy, he isn't he doesn't get much attention. He has a lot of content outside of the films, basically. So yeah, it is nice to see him get his own TV series and see what he can do. Yeah, I just have the same feeling with Sash. I'm just wary about who's behind it. As long as it's got a sort of good crew behind it, I think it could do well. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how that does and what it looks like when there's more of it.
Do you know what? I just want to say something. One day, I reckon they're gonna put whatever it may be, a film or a TV series, but Michael Bay's name's going to be attached to it, and watch the internet implode.
Implode. Oh, God.
I'm not, the lightsaber clashes will explode. Like
at least I mean, to be honest, look, I've got my thing about the lightsaber duels. I'm not going to go into the original trilogy duels because that's at a certain time, but for me, the best lightsaber duel is Duel of the Fates, Obi-Wan versus Maul versus Qui-Gon. That's epic. That to me is my that to me just it sold what Star Wars could be for me in terms of wow, that came because it came at the same time in The Matrix, and there was like a whole renaissance on how you capture martial arts on screen. That to me was just this. Yes, this. I want to see more of this, and they failed in 3 movies, 3 sequel movies to give me a decent lightsaber fight. A decent one.
Do you know what the lightsaber duels in the Disney trilogy are? They're like it's so funny because in the original trilogy, yeah, it's in a different time, and then the prequel trilogy, like George Lucas has like got like these lightsaber forms like written down, and it's like got them doing all of this weird stuff like sword fighting and stuff like that, to get proper like in training for it. And then you've got the Disney trilogy, and they're just like whacking bats, like they're just like throwing the lightsaber, like it's like there's no form, like, and it's like, wait, Kylo Ren, you've been trained by Luke, like Luke knows like saber forms, like why are you not doing it? And then Rey's been trained by Leia and Luke, but she's not doing it either. It's like, wait, why does no one know any lightsaber forms? It's just
it makes no sense. That
can I ask who liked the Kylo Ren's lightsaber?
Oh, I love that lightsaber.
I found it.
I like that lightsaber.
I like the way it looked, but it looks so impractical.
Yeah, it's literally about to say that.
Yeah, of course.
It's so impractical.
Like, I get it, but why? It's like you can stab yourself with it.
Yeah, but
definitely.
I guess because he's a Force user, he has a way of using it. And,
with his bending light while he's swinging the fucking.
Hey man, I saw some gnarly new powers in that. Do you know the best new power I saw was him stopping the laser. When I saw that, I said, "Oh my god, that blew my mind."
Like if you look at Kylo Ren in the first like 20 minutes of the film, like he is a monster. Like you think this guy is going to be serious, and then it just doesn't turn out.
Yeah, I know. He turned out to be a dud.
Complete dud. It's just. I mean, nothing happened afterwards.
Yeah, no offense to what's the actor's name?
Adam Driver.
No offense to Adam Driver. I mean, it wasn't his fault. He played the shit out of that. He played it well, but what he was given, from the opening of The Force Awakening, that's a stake. That's high, that's up there with Darth. As far as I'm concerned, I'd never seen anything like that before. I was like Poe. I was like, looking at the laser and being dragged away by the, what the fuck? Go and that to me, that opens strong. You've got to finish strong.
Yeah. We all share your pain. Why do you think my channel's called Kylo Ren, man?
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things. It's like one of those things when you play old school, like fighting games, like Street Fighter or something. And every time you choose a player, right, you choose a character, and it has this little 10-second show of what they can do, the kicks and moves and stuff like that, right? But half of them turn out to be complete crap, and that's what Kylo Ren was. I mean, he did the showy thing in the first film, and then nothing happened. I mean, none of those moves were used ever again. Yeah. What happened to John? It's sort of disappeared.
He's gone.
I'm just gonna go. A tea break quickly.
Okay, yeah, do your thing.
Right.
Do your thing.
1 second.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Sol?
So yeah, I thought that's what it was. Like they showed off his so-called powers and so on and so forth in the first flick, right? Mm-hmm. But it never used again, like ever. Like he was. I mean, there was a forest running shot. Remember that? I mean, there was a lot of running shots. He seemed to be chasing people most of the time. Yeah. It's like he was never there. He seemed to be just chasing and chasing and chasing. And he seemed to be out of breath most of the time because he's chasing. And so there was never a good fight scene except for him and his boss. What was his name?
I can't remember his name now.
It was the last film. I mean, he had that fight scene. That was the only fight scene where he was in a room, and that was it. Because the rest of it is him trying to break through, the Force, to speaking to her, and that's really it. I mean, that's not confrontation, That's just bullying most of the time.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed with how those films turned out. We're really disappointed. I mean. In its content, the first film was made by committee, but made well. Second film, was take it or leave it. It didn't fit into what if you're bringing back Luke, it just didn't fit.
Yeah, well, first film was exactly what I've been saying from day one. That it was it's like find all your favorite scenes from what I call the original trilogy, and we'll smush them together.
Yeah,
and
that was like the greatest hits.
Exactly. It was the greatest hit show. Greatest hits. Nothing to do with story. No story whatsoever. Just the scenes you like, right? But they had to introduce a new character, so they had the first scene, the middle scene, and the end where she sort of travels between from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. But that was it, really. And then that's why I like Solo, simply because it wasn't this crap. It had a story, it had a beginning, it had an end, and you could see where they were planning to go. Yeah. There were boring scenes in Solo where they were sitting around talking, trying to figure out what to do, and it took too long. That I do agree with some people. That is, they're just sitting around. There's no, energy in this thing. It's like, yeah, I get it. But that said, at least there was somewhat of a story. That's why I liked the other Rogue One as well. There was a beginning, a middle, and the end. You know what I mean?
The funny thing about Rogue One is pretty much just Dark Forces retooled. I don't know if you've played the game Jedi Knight Dark Forces, but it has all the similar story beats of Dark Forces. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's very much like that.
But Dark Forces, I tell you what they brought in. They brought in difference between that and Rogue One was they had Dark Troopers in Rogue Forces. Was it in Dark Forces?
Yeah, in Dark Forces they did have Dark Troopers.
Yeah, they had Dark Troopers in Dark Forces. That's where they were from, man. And
they did take that out. Yeah.
Yeah, so they
basically retooled it. Like even like Jyn Erso is like the girl in Dark Forces is called like Jan Erso, or Orsa or something like that. Like they just basically just took her name, changed it a little bit, and then made the main character for Rogue One. But I do like Rogue One. Rogue One's good.
What was I going to say? So yeah, back on Solo, the writer and director of some of the episodes. I don't know whether he's doing a whole series or whatnot, or whether he's the showrunner. But they hired their white people's Justin Simeon
The white people's who?
So have you not heard of the TV show and the movie Dare White People? It was a movie that came out.
I know the movie.
I don't think so.
I know the movie, but I didn't know there was a TV show.
Yeah, there's a TV. It was a Netflix TV show.
Okay.
I think that's where the majority of people saw it, because you got like a lot of like people, like people like, oh my God, how dare they make a film called Dare White People? And it's like, no, you need to. It was already a film.
Oh, Dare White People was a TV show.
Yeah, so the guy that created the show and it was a movie beforehand, Salmon.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, Tessa Thompson's in it.
Well, anyway, yeah, the guy behind that, he's going to be like, I think he might be the showrunner of Solo. He's attached to Solo anyway, because they said that at the Disney event. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he says, in interviews and stuff coming out, because at the moment, like, no offense to the guy, like, Dare White People, fantastic movie. I've not seen the TV show, but fantastic movie. I just want to know, is he a fan? You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? That's the difference, because, like, Rian Johnson was allegedly a fan, and we got The Last Jedi. And so that's just my chewed up. But do I want to see a Lando series? Yeah. Do I think there's potential? Yeah. Justin Simeon, good luck. Don't drop the ball. But we'll see.
This is the thing about working on a Star Wars project. There's so much pressure.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you get one thing wrong,
it's
See, it's one of those things though. It's just had some bad stuff. So like Star Wars, it's just had some bad content, and when people don't like it, I guess the fan base is a bit rabid when they don't like something. Like you even see it in the games, like with the Star Wars Battlefront game, when people didn't like the microtransactions and that, they literally just like they put the money up and just stopped buying, just did not give that game any sales.
And so they should have. EA, just as a disclaimer, EA are effing arseholes. And I've not bought an EA game since 2003, and I never will again.
You know what? You are missing out on Fallen Order, because you know what? I actually know someone that worked on.
I'm going to have to die on that hill then.
Yeah, I know someone that worked on it. I know someone that worked on that game, and they said that game went through so much battles to try and get out, because EA were trying to cancel it, because they were trying to like focus on multiplayer and microtransactions and stuff, and they didn't want to have the single player experience. But that game is actually a good game. It's actually a solid game, and I'm playing it at the moment, to be honest. And hey man, I'm surprised. I was shocked it came out of EA, to be fair.
I'm still shocked now that 2 games have come out of EA and they don't have microtransactions. Well, it kind of does, but it's not. And I'm shocked by that. So okay, EA have got something else down the line that they're gonna punish players for down the line. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna. I see another wave coming of. Oh my God! I can't believe EA done this. Actually, to be honest, the arseholes of the games industry at the moment is CD Projekt Red. So, good luck to EA.
Okay.
EA will take that crown back eventually. But CD Projekt Red has really screwed up big time. I mean, Sony have taken the game off the website.
That's good on Sony. If I know, because obviously I like work in QA, so if I know anything about compliance, basically what happens is there are conditional waivers that are given for a game if they are like really, really buggy, but like basically what you can do as a company is say, we will fix these in time for like a day 0 patch. Right. So we can get these bugs like waived so you can pass it, but only on the condition that we're going to fix it. So I think what Sony have done here is like, say, look, you were supposed to fix this on your like sort of first patch and it's failed. So yeah, I think they're well within their rights to just remove it from their store, because it's not a playable game. It's not in a playable state. So.
I mean, that it's only been out for a week and it's been memed to shit. it's the most memed thing I've seen. There's another meme. There's a guy going through a wall. There's a guy that's T-posing. There's so much. That game is so broken. Oh my god, I've never seen anything like it, man.
How long has it been in the making?
Say again?
How long has it been in the making?
Probably about 4 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
8 years, maybe 9.
Well,
I've been hearing about it because I've been hearing about it for such a long time.
Yeah.
I thought it was already out until I saw it recently. I'm like, oh no, it's coming out now.
Yeah.
And now everybody's complaining. It's like, oh, it doesn't work.
It's broken.
Yeah.
It's there's no other way to say it. The game's broken. And so, anyway, this is supposed to be about Star Wars. Folding back onto the Star Wars thing.
What are we talking about again?
We were talking
Lando.
about the new show,
Lando show. Yeah, I want to watch it.
And yeah, what were you?
We're talking about Lando.
I took this into a tangent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were talking about Justin Simeon. Doing the right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And I also said, I think just Star Wars fans are just some Star Wars fans are wary just over the amount of content that's being hit and miss.
Because we're kind of like, how are you going to fuck it up now? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, how
I
you
get
going to
why.
We don't like from that list. There are a few shows where I'm feeling they got this, but we'll get to that in a bit. But there are certain things, like the one we're about to say. I'm going to segue in to the Acolyte. I'm going to let John lead up with the Acolyte.
Yeah, so I mean, the Acolyte. Say hello to my son, by the way. The Acolyte is the Acolyte is these 10 days, 11 days.
Oh, moly, man!
This is the youngest guy on the podcast.
No, he can pick his head up.
Oh wow! Oh,
yeah, he can pick his head up. He's a strong kid, man.
Yeah, he thinks he's strong.
Hey, man, he's moving his head. He's looking up at you.
Yeah.
Did he like Did your son like the new Star Wars trilogy?
Oh yeah, he.
Don't disappoint him. He's been here 10 days, man.
He wasn't born to see it. Like, how lucky can he be? But now, yeah, the Acolyte. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun. I really do. It's not actually my favorite one to talk about though. My favorite one to talk about is actually Star Wars Visions. I think that's gonna be a banger, to be honest. I always like it. Like let's talk about the Acolyte before I talk about Visions, to be honest. Like what do you think about Acolyte, Josh?
I don't know, man. It's like based on this, like, what's it? What are the books called? The one's coming out?
Oh, so like
it's set around the High Republic, isn't it?
Yeah. And basically, what the High Republic is at the minute is I don't know if you guys want High Republic spoilers. I'm
not too bothered.
Not too bothered.
Yeah, so basically, there aren't any Sith in the High Republic books so far, or dark side users. There are dark side users, and they're actually like plant species. So yeah, they take Force energy and they like drain Force energy and stuff like that. So that is the ultimate threat of the New Republic as far as I'm aware. So I don't know what Acolyte is going to tackle completely. I don't know if Sith are still going to be involved in the New Republic era because there hasn't been any hints at it yet. So I don't know where this is going to go, basically. I do know, obviously, Yoda is going to be in it. I think they showed the artwork for Yoda, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
He looks pretty badass.
I'll try and find
but yeah, I think that's sort of the main thing about that, really, where you'll get a sort of younger Yoda.
Yeah, I don't really know much about. I know about the person who's Is she the showrunner?
So Russian Dolls co-creator Leslie Headland. She's gonna be leading the charge on this one. I'm not sure, man.
Russian Dolls is a really good show.
I'm sure it is, but I'm looking at this interview with her with Variety where they asked her.
Yeah, no, she's got weird views.
Well, not even weird views. It's like forget the views. It's like they asked her a question: "What's your favorite Star Wars movie?" And she was like, "Oh, all of them." And then like, like she's giving deadpan answers. She's not even like going into what she likes about Star Wars. She's not like when someone likes something, she's just giving blasé kind of answers.
She's giving general answers.
Yeah, very general answers, man. I'm not feeling the passion or anything, you know what I mean, coming from her at all about the project and stuff that makes me think she's the woman, you know what I mean? And like on top of that, it's like I don't know, man. I just don't know what to think about this one. I'm not really that enthusiastic about the High Republic stuff, mainly because I think this is where there's a plenty of ground for them to fuck shit up royally, because you can't have Sith. You know what I mean? You can't have Sith. So it depends on what those new villains they bring in and how they go about it. This is called the Acolyte. They did mention that it has something to do with the dark side. And it's like, well, okay. How? Because if you go to lore, the Sith have not been around for a millennia. So, do you know what I mean? Are we dealing with Darth Plagueis? Are we dealing with, well, it's 400 years before like the prequels. So we can't be dealing with Palpatine. So
that's my main issue with it.
Yeah, that's just
the New Republic
it,
is set so close to the Phantom Menace that it's just that you have so little leeway there.
Yeah, and my concern is, fair enough, they've entered a new space where they could do whatever they want, but at the same time, Lucas set certain boundaries there with what he did with the lore, if you know what I mean. So I don't know, man. This could be another. I'm being a pessimist here, but like I don't know, man. And she didn't sell it to me. You know what I mean? In those interviews, it was those answers just to like, yeah, go away. You know what I mean, kind of thing. And it was just like, man, can't you just like elaborate a bit more and give us some of that passion and shit? But we'll see what happens, man. I could be totally wrong. She could have the next masterpiece, but I hope so, because I like to be proven wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Rian Johnson would have been a good.
Oh, mate.
Would have been a good fit for it, but it turns out that he wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. And Joe, remember all those times on this podcast I'd be like, no, he's got this. He's never done a shit film in his life. And I said that. And, you know, when you look at his filmography, that's the only shit film he's done.
Hold on. Brick is all right. It's not.
Brick is amazing.
It's all right. They're better noir.
As a first feature,
it's all right.
As a first feature, that's like on the budget of how I would make a film. You know what I mean?
I think you'd make a better noir film than he would. I've watched it 3 times. I've got it on my shelf, for goodness sake. I've watched it 3 times, and I think there's something not right about this film. I don't know what it is. It's not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know what it is. I haven't pinpointed it down. It's the same problem I had with Superman, The Man of Steel. I couldn't review that film for a couple of years, and now I've come to my decision. I don't like it. So
fair enough, man. Fair enough.
But go on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not feeling this. I'm just not feeling this one, man. I need to know more about who's behind it. What, you know, I want them to sell themselves to me. You know what I mean? Like, literally, what's the deal, man? Like, when Jon Favreau talks about Star Wars, I know he's the guy. When Dave Filoni talks about Star Wars, you're like, yeah, he knows the shit. Do you know what I mean? She's coming from a place where it's like she doesn't seem to know her shit. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite Star Wars film? Okay, if it's like all of them, at least elaborate. What do you mean by all of them? But you know, if it was me, I'd be like, well, I love A New Hope because you got this bit with this scene and blah blah blah. But then again, in Empire, you got the bits with like Yoda training and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, be enthusiastic. Don't say like all of them. You know what I mean? Just like one word answers, like, oh, all of them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, da da da. I don't know, man. Our whole aura on that interview was just kind of like, yeah, nonchalant, man.
That's what it is. It's an answer of like you just digging up the company that you work for.
Yeah. It's PR. It's definitely PR, man. It's like, this is what you say if this is asked to you.
Yeah. And like she was just like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy's the best boss ever. It's like, okay, that may be the case, but do you know what I mean? Like,
of course she is. She's paying you money.
Yeah,
she's paying you a lot of money. So of course she's the best boss in the world.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't come into the new what I call workshop and go, you know what? They all suck. Didn't do it well. I'm gonna be the one who's gonna bring it back to what it's gonna be. And they're gonna say, look, everything's good, but we're gonna do what we're gonna do, and it's gonna be different. It'll be better. It's same old shit, right? Everybody does it. There's nothing different. So don't read too much into it. We have to wait to find out what they're actually doing, and until they start giving us some sort of small hints, maybe then we can start criticizing stuff.
What about the Squadron show? Let's talk about the Squadron show.
I really want to fucking go to Squadron show. It is the favorite. All right, let me put it this way: Star Wars. I fell in love into it because of the Squadron thing. I turned anything and everything into that stupid vertical plane and flying, flew it around when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Everything, including my dad's keychains. I mean, everything. So I am desperate for that show, and I really need it to be good. So I'm not going to read into it. I'm going to ignore everything. I'm going to watch that first episode. Oh, it's a movie, right?
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. I'm going to watch a movie. So you jackasses don't tell me anything about it either.
We don't know anything about it.
No, when you will. I'm quite sure you'll all find out a lot more about it before I will. I mean, I'm not going to look into it.
All I know is that Patty Jenkins is directing it, and that's about it.
Yeah, and let's see, because I've been listening to these guys who's watched the new Wonder Woman film, and they all are liking it. So hopefully, she is doing good.
Yeah, again, as you said, let's see where it goes, man. I don't know if she's the best, but she's proved herself to whatever degree. I don't think she needs to prove anything more. This will be a big testing ground for her. Rogue Squadron is very interesting. I would have thought someone like what's his name? I just mentioned him. Michael Bay. I would, if Michael Bay was attracted to Rogue Squadron, oh my god, that would be amazing.
Well, here's the thing: before you write off everyone writes off Bay,
I'm not writing him off. I'm saying that's amazing.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying in general. Michael Bay is as good as the scripts that he is given. Yeah. Okay, so the first Transformers movie, that was actually an all right movie. I don't care what anyone says.
It's a good movie. It's a
it had a decent script. It had a decent setup. Out of all of them, that is, apart from Bumblebee, that one's the second best movie.
If he just made one,
he didn't make Bumblebee.
Yeah, no, I said it's the second best movie. I didn't say it was the best movie. I said the second best movie. I said apart from Bumblebee. So yeah, my point being is, he's as good as the scripts. If you look at outside of Transformers, and you look at all his other filmography, it's always down to the scripts that he's given. And whenever he does it, he elevates it to the boombastic. Now the thing is, Star Wars, again, this goes back to where Star Wars is at the moment. If you told me Michael Bay is doing a Star Wars film, I would be like, okay, because the first thing I want to know is who's writing it. Who's writing it? Okay, because Michael Bay, if he's given a shit script and the story's shit, that's going to be one shit movie. And unfortunately for Michael Bay, who's everyone going to blame? They're going to blame him mainly than the scriptwriter.
Well, yeah, it's because you can hope that Michael Bay will go, this is not a script that I'm going to do. But you know what?
He doesn't. He takes the money. He takes the money. And there's a whole army of Transformers movies that prove that. So
I just recently realized there are 6 of them or 5.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know there was so many.
They got that far, man. The guy made
Transformers.
Yeah,
that's a big movie franchise.
That's a huge movie franchise.
Really well.
And they're getting longer and longer, man. The last one I watched with my nephew. He loves Transformers. 2.5, almost like 2 hours 40 minutes or some nonsense like that. I mean, he lost his energy, and I lost my patience.
Yeah. I mean, like with Michael Bay, it would depend on who the writer was. If you told me Michael Bay was doing an MCU movie, I'd be excited. And I'll tell you why I'd be excited. Because end of the day, who's the puppet master there? Kevin Feige. And I have all the faith in Kevin Feige. Let's turn that shit to Star Wars. I don't have that faith. I don't have that faith. So again, it comes like I'm saying with each of these, who's writing it? What do they know about Star Wars? What's the law? What's the law? When it comes to this Patty Jenkins one, look, Patty Jenkins is a fantastic filmmaker. I don't have no question with her filmmaking talent. Same way with Rian Johnson, no question with his filmmaking talent. Now, Rogue Squadron means a lot more. I've read all the books. I own all the Dark Horse comics. I posted it up on the WhatsApp group, like on the Creative Control WhatsApp group. I've got all the video games, which are literally right here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, like, I know my shit with this stuff. And if they really wanted to here's the thing. They don't have to be, the movie doesn't have to be the books. They don't have to be the comics. Hell, they don't even have to be the video games. Okay. They do have creative license, but there is one thing and one character they needed to say in that fucking spiel to have people go, okay, I'm excited. Okay. Wedge Antilles, man. All right. And if you don't know who Wedge Antilles is, okay. For those that don't know, if you watch the original 3 Star Wars films, there's one X-Wing pilot that's in all 3 of them. He's just a bit part, and his name's Wedge Antilles. He does have a speaking role, and he's played by actor Dennis Lawson, who is Ewan McGregor's uncle. Because obviously he survived all 3 Death Stars, in all the books. Sorry, no, 2. He wasn't at Starkiller Base, but like they couldn't pay Dennis Lawson enough to go back to that film. But except for Rise of Skywalker, he randomly shows up on that. But I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, sorry, now you brought that up. What the fuck was that about?
Money. The guy got paid money. He got paid money for that cameo. That's all I'm going to say, because he literally turned around when they said Episode 7. He had no interest. And there's a reason why he said that. The reason why he had no interest in coming back to Star Wars around the time of Episode 7 was because he's a theatre actor. And second of all, the Star Wars movies, he made money when he was a working actor and he didn't have to worry about shit. But the thing is with those films, he was dubbed. That's not his voice in those films. When he's flying the plane and he's like Luke, pull out or whatever, you know what I mean? It's literally not his voice. It's an American actor dubbing over his voice. So as an
there are
actor,
a lot of them.
Yeah, and for an actor, that's not his performance. You know what I mean? And now the thing is, whenever you play the Rogue Squadron games, they got Dennis Lawson back to do the voice, but he's doing an American voice, and it's not the same voice that you hear in the movie, because obviously the guy doing the voice in the movie is a different fucking actor, So, my point being is, as a Rogue Squadron fan and as a fan of the Wedge Antilles character, it's like, well, I'm not against them recasting that character. You know what I mean? Because you don't really see him in the film with the helmet off. You do in a few shots, but you don't get it up close. You know what I mean? It's still sort of an enigma. You know what I mean? some fans will be like, no, but I saw him in Red. And it's like, come on, man. He didn't have that much of a screen presence. Because if I said Wedge Antilles to a casual Star Wars fan, they'd know exactly who I'm on about. You know what I mean? He'd be up there with Han and Chewie and shit, but he's not. You know what I mean? So I'm not against the recast. You know what I mean? Get an American actor, kind of resembles Dennis Lawson when he was young. You know what I mean? And hell, back to the point of Dennis Lawson in Rise of Skywalker, he did get paid big bucks. And guess what? They didn't even dub him. He was fucking English in that. So it was like, what happened to your accent, bro? You know what I mean? Like, oh, man, more reasons why.
He went to a British acting, he went to England. or British part of the universe.
Yeah.
Stayed there for a while.
Yeah, there we go. And it's been so many years he adopted the thing. Anyway,
your accent's changed. Yes, it has.
Yeah. My point being is, in that presentation, if they mention Wedge Antilles' name, I would have been excited. It would have said to me more that, wow, these guys have literally researched a bit on what makes Rogue Squadron, because he's the guy. That was the whole point of doing a Rogue Squadron comic book and series in the first place, to give him, an arc, give him a character. He'd been growing as a side character in all the other novels for such a long time, where they more or less made him an extension of Han, Luke, and Leia in those novels and stuff, like Heir to the Empire, Dark Forces, and Last Command. This is the Timothy Zahn trilogy of books and stuff, where you're like, oh, okay, when's Wedge going to get his dues? And then like 5 years later, Dark Horse do the comic, and then there's the game, and then there's the books by Michael Stackpole. So it's, knowing that he's going to be in it would have been trending on the internet amongst Star Wars fans. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. And now all you're getting is, Patty Jenkins is doing Rogue One. It's not really like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a thing, but it's not like a thing. You know what I mean? Because nobody cares, because everyone thinks they're going to fuck up. But I'll tell you what, Patty Jenkins put up a cool video showing that, even though she's not been on the project that long, because she's still writing the treatment, I do believe.
Put that video in the... I'm just going to find it.
Yeah, she's writing a treatment, I do believe. Now, treatment is like could be like a 5 to 20 page synopsis of what the movie is. So it's still being worked on. The script's still being worked on. And, she basically said that she's got a love of aviation, and she's basing it on true life experiences that came from her father, because her father was an Air Force pilot. You know what I mean? And she's been looking for an Air Force pilot kind of movie to do that, and what better than Star Wars? And you know what? She's 100% right. Okay, and that's cool. But is Wedge Antilles going to be in this? Okay, if she says Wedge Antilles is going to be in this, look, I don't even need Wedge to be like the main character, as long as he's like, the older guy that's like, in charge of the team, and it's a bunch of new guys. Cool. You know what I mean? I need my Wedge Antilles. The fucking Star Wars fan base needs Wedge Antilles to have his dues, man. And if there's no Wedge, then I'm out. I'm literally, okay, the movie has to really win me over, like really win me over. But if they want an easy win, put Wedge in it, man. And hey, you know what? You could say, oh, I'm the 2% minority, but I'm the 2% minority that been keeping Star Wars alive throughout the 1990s, man. So, you know what I mean? You took my money, I want something back in return, man. Which, that's my rant over Rogue Squadron, more or less, because what I'm saying is, if they said Wedge Antilles was up in there, man, there would have been applause across the internet, man. Seriously. Am I right, John? I'm just saying, like...
Oh, no, yeah. I think it should be Wedge. It really should. Like, I could see them do something like, I don't know, like I always thought they would try and do something around Poe, but it just looks like they're just going to drop like him as a character completely.
I mean, I don't even think Oscar Isaac wants to. I saw him glaze over when the movie was being released, the last one. I saw him in interviews. He was just like, when someone's excited for a film, you can see it in their face. Yeah. He was not in any way. He was telling to me that this film is not going to be good. This film's not going to be good.
I think the last time I heard anything from Oscar Isaacs about is that his name?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. About Star Wars, they basically asked him if he ever planned to return, and he said only if he needed a house. So I mean, we all know what he means by that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it has to be Wedge. That's established. I mean, even John Boyega as well. Like him, John Boyega, even Daisy Ridley. They've all been just yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing. Okay, aside from my fucking big love for the character of Wedge Antilles, it doesn't have to be set in the classic era. It could be.
But the thing with Rogue Squadron that I was going to say as well is that I think spaceship combat in Star Wars is probably the most easiest thing to like. It's the most easiest thing to get interesting. So yeah, I do think if you're basing a whole film around space combat, I think it can be exciting and interesting. Yeah. Even if, like, I don't know, even if they make the wrong casting choices or character choices in the end. But I just don't like a Rogue Squadron. Yeah, you would have to set it either when the Empire completely around or when the First Order are around. It if
it's the First Order around, then you need to have Oscar Isaac. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You need to have Oscar Isaac.
Good luck.
Because he's the guy. He's the guy leading the team. They have Rogue Squadron, and you've got him. You got the guy from Lost and fucking Heroes, and a couple of aliens and shit. It really should be about them. Fuck it.
It had like 3 lines.
Yeah, exactly. But that's Rogue Squadron, or at least Rogue Squadron during the sequel era. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they've already established kind of those characters. They could loosely take 2 of those characters and put rest all brand new and stuff. But the whole point is, it is a squadron of fighters, man. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I mean, like me as a Star Wars fan, I'd like to see Wedge. Also, if you play the Star Wars Squadrons game, they got Hera from Rebels, who's supposed to be a general now. Oh, you didn't know that, John? Yeah, Hera from Rebels.
In that new Rogue Squadron game.
Yeah. Hera from Rebels just rolls in there with Wedge as well, and they're like giving everyone like mission assignments and stuff, and I'm like, that's fine. You know, I need to hear Hera Syndulla. I need to hear Wedge Antilles, and if I don't get Hera Syndulla, I need Wedge Antilles in there. That's like a hands down must. You know, but.
Sach, can I just say something? Despite all the intricacies with what you're saying, you still have to deliver a product that a general audience can watch and fans can watch. The only person I think that could... I'm surprised that they haven't hired Christopher McQuarrie in any way whatsoever to do their action scenes or give them advice on doing some of this stuff, because he's so good at what he does. He's really good at what he does, and if I hear his name in the mix of anything to do with Star Wars, I say, "Yep, that's gold." I know that's giving Christopher McQuarrie a lot of props, but he's very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does.
Okay, so the next film.
Oh, can I just add something to this?
What's up?
You guys, I mean, you've been demanding about all these characters to be in that film. And like after when you were away, I was saying that I really want Squadron film to be like the bomb, essentially. Thing is, when you ask for so many things, it kind of limits things in a certain way.
I'm only asking for one character, bro.
I know.
That's it.
I know, but you've
got an IP, you've got a brand, you've got a series of books based on the one guy.
They can essentially do the same thing. They can just bring you in for a seat, and that's it. But
chances are they're probably not going to do that.
Yeah, chances are he probably goes like, I have enough of this.
I think it's unlikely that Wedge is actually in this. To be honest,
yeah,
I really agree.
Same. I mean, like, look. This is the difference, Salmon, and Joe can testify to this. Pre-Last Jedi, all right. Pre-Last Jedi, I was literally, no, they've got this. It's fine. I would have been like, Patty Jenkins, she's amazing. Wonder Woman was amazing. Monster is amazing. And they are amazing films. There's no question on how great she is. You know what I mean? I need more than that. I need to know that they've got this. You know what I mean?
See, that's a hard thing to do before the project's been done.
Well, no, because like there are plenty of people out there that you know, you can tell by the way they talk in interviews and stuff. If they name drop something, etc., you know they're on the same page. Which is why I was so harsh on the last lady, because of her blasé answers, her PR fucking shit spiel. Because I see through it, man. I totally see through it, and it's like that's when I know you're just giving a blasé answer because you know what the fuck you're doing. But you know you are right.
Man.
But you are right.
Yeah.
But you are right. You are right until we get the final product. Cool. And I'll be happy to be proven wrong. This is the most negative you've ever seen me on the podcast, isn't it?
No. I've seen you worse. That's nothing. I've seen you on a 30-minute rant on something that I didn't even care for.
But yeah, okay. Let's bring it back to something that's a little bit more lighthearted and like no, because then I'll end it on a downer. No,
I can't change.
Wait, let's talk about Star Wars Visions. All
right, we'll talk about Star Wars Visions, Scarman.
Yeah, so Star Wars Visions is going to be a collection of Star Wars anime, made by like outsourced as well. Like, so this is going to be really interesting because basically what Disney have been doing recently is they've been making manga versions of some of the Star Wars novels that they've been creating. So yeah, you can get it on Amazon or whatnot, and they are really, really cool. There's a book about Luke traveling and like stories of Luke Skywalker where people are like in a canteen are talking about like various feats that he's done. So like see that in a manga form is actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm really, really interested in this one because it's just a fresh takes from different people on the Star Wars universe. So yeah, what do you guys think about that?
This sounds like the Animatrix. I don't know if anyone ever saw that, but they got again outsourced different people from around the world doing bits of animation related to the Matrix world, and I guess they'll do this. They'll probably even approach the same directors, like some anime artists and some American and British, French. I think they'll collaborate with a lot. I mean, they have the money to do it, so
of course,
it could be a good thing depending on what stories they choose to tell. I'm
from the way it sounded, it looked like they have free reign, like so similar to the Animatrix, right, where they can literally just tell any type of story in that universe that they want. So,
I'll tell you what. Some of the it's the guy who did Ninja Scroll.
Is it Madhouse?
No, it's the director. I think he did. Was it Shinichiro Watanabe? I think he was the one.
Ninja Scroll is brilliant, by the way.
It's it is.
So
yeah, it's Ninja Scroll, Cowboy Bebop, and Samurai Champloo. I think that's the same guy. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, internet. He's a fascinating director because he did his Animatrix version of oh gosh, I can't remember what it was called, but it was it's set in the samurai era. They plugged themselves with set in the samurai era. It's like a vivid nightmare, and that's one of my favorites of the Animatrix. If he manages to do something for Star Wars, it'll be interesting, very interesting. He'll do something very good with lightsaber duels, and that's the one thing I want to see. Give me another good lightsaber duel that's in Star Wars and not in the I don't know, man. I just want a really good lightsaber duel. But yeah, he's one of the directors. I hope that does it. And again, how many did they plan to do? Is it like they'll do series 1 with different directors and then a series 2 with a whole bunch of different other directors? Or
yeah, I don't think it's going to be multiple seasons. I think it's
It's a
just going to be
miniseries.
like one season of it. It's a miniseries. I think they just said it was going to be a collection of it. So yeah, I'm guessing it's just going to be
like an
couple
anthology or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that goes. Definitely.
I mean, a lot of this is a lot of the stuff they announce is, it needs to be proven because they Mandalorian seems to have made up for a lot of the missteps they did with the movies, but they need to be more.
For me. Yeah.
No, it's re-energized all the
It doesn't need to be more. Yeah. There doesn't need to be after this episode of Mandalorian. There's clearly like a golden path for Star Wars, basically. So
yeah, I just finished it.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not spoiling it. I just said I just finished it. That's why I'm giving you full attention now.
All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna predict the ending of this. It's either LS, or Darth DM.
You confused me, man.
Don't worry. Ignore it, man.
Do you know what the abbreviations meant?
I knew what the abbreviation meant.
Okay. All right. It's well,
Don't worry.
That's my prediction.
Okay, so next up, we have Andor, the Cassian Andor spin-off. So Cassian Andor from Rogue One, who died in Rogue One.
You know what? I was excited about this after I watched Rogue One, and then it's been like 6 years since then. Like I do not care for Cassian Andor now, to be honest. Because like as you said, he dies. We know he dies. We know he was on the Rogue Squadron for a bit, right? We know he delivered, like he helped. Like he died a noble death, right? He helped deliver the Death Star plans. Spoilers of Rogue One, even though it's 6 years old, so you probably watched it anyway. But we know he died a hero's death, but like, do we need to know anything else about him? Like, really?
No. No. That's not a show I'm looking forward to in any way. Sorry if anyone else is, but he's a cat. Really, you're making a show about him? This guy. This guy.
I want Mads Mikkelsen's character. I want a show for him.
Oh my
man.
god!
Just give me him. Like,
out of all the, I would even taken the robot, the dead robot.
Well, hang on. The robot's in this.
He is.
Yeah, the robot's in this.
I mean, he's going to have to be. It's a prequel, right? Because he definitely doesn't survive a planet exploding.
Well,
unless he knows something I don't. Out of all the characters, again, his character had his arc. I'll say nothing more than that. All the characters, seriously. Seriously.
Personally, I want to know more about Donnie Yen, man. But
I had actually
forgotten. Making this worse.
Dude, I had forgotten the character. I should just look it up who it was.
Exactly. That's my fucking point. Who gives a shit? That's what the show. Go on.
Imagine a whole series of Donnie Yen's character, like, and the amount of crazy stuff that he could do, where he just slightly gets force powers here and there, but he's obviously using his ability.
And the other thing is, he has a double act, because the guy with the gun, you know what I mean? Like, they had a good to and fro, back and forth, and the guy's a cynic. He's like an optimist. That's a buddy comedy right there, man. Getting into adventures.
Even the mind reading worm. I'll watch a whole 3 seasons about that guy.
But isn't he like?
No one. Who cares?
No. But he's like the solo character in the beginning, where he's jumping around and he's working for people and trying to make ends meet, sort of a thing. They're too similar. There's so many similar characters like this and so many things. Yeah. It's not unique enough to make a show about at all.
Well,
all I'm saying, it's got to be fucking good, or someone sleeping with someone at Disney to get that show made. There's no fucking way. Sorry, I carry on, Saj.
So it's the showrunner is Tony Gilroy, who did the Bourne Automation, who wrote all the Bourne films and House of Cards as well. He's a producer on House of Cards.
Okay.
Michael Clayton, he directed. Now, here's the thing. He's he's not a Star Wars fan. He's said that outright. He's in good favor with Kathleen Kennedy's husband, Frank Marshall. But at the same time, when Rogue One had its issues and had to go through its reshoots, he was the guy that was directing the reshoots with the original director, but it was actually him that directed the reshoots.
Wait a minute, Rogue One also went through reshoots as well?
Yeah, it went through reshoots as well. Okay, so a quick backstory. When they were making Rogue One, they filmed it how they were supposed to film it. All the actors had pre-picture deals, which is kind of why he's getting the series, I'd imagine. So what happened was, they had pre-picture deals, and at the end of the movie, Jalen Erso was supposed to get married or something. It was supposed to be happy ever after kind of ending kind of thing. And then Bob Iger looked at it and he was like, well, okay, that's all well and good, but shouldn't they all die because they're not in any of the other movies? And then that was the original plan, but they were like, we're working for Disney. That's never going to fly. And then they basically turned around and was like, what, are we allowed to kill them off? And it was like, well, yeah, can we go back to the original ending? And he was like, how much you need? He goes, they set up a budget for 2 weeks worth of filming. They hired Tony Gilroy to rewrite the script to what they originally intended, and then they just banged it out in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Which was a lot cheaper and faster kind of run around than Solo, because Solo was off for a few months and then, they went back on and, you know what I mean? Whatnot. So Solo cost more than the reshoot of Rogue One, and it paid off for Rogue One. Tony Gilroy, he self-proclaimed said in recent years that he's never been into Star Wars. It's not his thing. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? He knows how to make a movie. And what you got to understand is with Rogue One, the script was already written by writer Gary Whitta, because Tony Gilroy actually isn't credited on the actual film, but he did. It's renowned that he did. When someone comes in late to the project and put in work and they don't get credited, it was one of those things. But he's the main showrunner of. Yeah, he's the main showrunner of Cassian Andor. I think he's directing the pilot and a couple of episodes as well. So yeah, I mean, again, I'm like they said this guy's story in Rogue One. Now here's the thing. Despite him not being a big Star Wars head, maybe it gives him free rein to do what he wants because he worked on the previous film. Because you got to understand, as long as you know the previous film, then that's fine, right? So, he's got some experience there with the character. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the other writers. Maybe, I don't know. But I saw during the investors conference, they showed some behind the scenes stuff, and it had some really cool stuff in there, but like nothing that, you know what I mean? Nothing any more than generic Star Wars shit. So I don't know, man. I'm on the fence with this, like I have been with everything else. It's like, sounds good, it looks pretty, but
it does.
We'll see.
Sounds good.
What happened to you, Joe? You sort of sunk into your sofa?
Yeah, because I'm just waiting for this. I just don't.
Yeah,
I can't do it, man. I can't do Cassian Andor.
Fair enough. I was trying to add a little bit of optimism, despite me being like negative from the last one, but no, I totally get it.
So what they have of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. You go.
Go on.
No, yeah. So I was just gonna say, it just screams that Disney had this planned, like really, really, like long ago, and they've just sat on it for so long, and like, oh crap, we had this planned, and now they're just gonna get out of the door for Disney Plus, I'm guessing. So, I mean, it's always nice to have more Star Wars content, but I'm not really interested in this one.
My guess is that they're trying to fill in the gaps. If you look at the dates, It's 2022 or something like that, or 23. I mean, it's not nearby. So I'm guessing they're thinking we gotta have something scheduled. It's probably like we gotta have something every 6 to 8 months, right? So that's the filler for the 6 to 8 month, and then they'll have something that is probably a little better 6 months afterwards. My guess.
Well, it can't come and pass any quicker for me.
Well, I don't think you would notice that. I was probably will go by and you won't even notice because you're not interested. You won't even look it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because nowadays this is the thing. Because if you have streaming services, things can come and go pretty easily. Because if it's on TV and if you switch your TV on, you constantly get bombarded by commercials like, "Oh look, it's on the Saturday, 9 o'clock Saturday, 9 o'clock," and you look for it. But if it's on streaming service and you didn't bother looking for it,
no,
it doesn't exist. Because you have to look it up. You have to switch it on yourself.
I'm even proclaiming that I should put this even in the podcast when I put it up on YouTube. I'm joking. That's been the only question mark in this whole thing for me. Is like, what, really?
Well,
this guy, the one guy that no one has ever asked about. Anyway.
Well, you never know. I mean, the guy who's making it has got a list of like bangers, man. So you never know. It could have turned out to be a really good, set of series. But the question is, was it an idea to start, go for the character, or was it sold to? I got ideas for this character, and we probably won't know until this thing is coming out. It's probably 2 years from now. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We definitely will not see. Sach, what's next?
What's the next one?
Okay, next we have.
How many topics are there?
I think there were 10 movies. 10.
Yeah, we've got 4 more to talk about now,
okay.
And we're kind of in the more positive kind of echelon in all of this list. So,
cool.
Okay, so let's start off with. Okay, I'm going to start off with Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic. Now, they've announced the showrunners of this. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are directly behind this. This is the follow-up to The Mandalorian after season 3 is done. I don't need to know anything more, man. You know how I said, and R? They got this. They've got this, okay? Dave Filoni, proven. Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian. Jon Favreau, fantastic director. You know what I mean? Mandalorian, his idea. It's kind of like a bird in the hand, basically. It's fucking win-win. I'm in. I don't even know what it's about. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I trust the talent. You know what I mean? 100% trust the talent. And the rumor is that Bill Burr's character from The Mandalorian is going to appear in it. So, you know what? After seeing the previous episode, last week's episode of Mandalorian and Bill Burr's character, I'm in. I love his character. What's his name? Mansfeld?
I don't know.
Mansfeld.
Just Bill Burr. Let's face it. It's Bill Burr in Star Wars. It should be weird, but it's not. I'm in.
Yeah, I think, isn't it wasn't it rumored to be something with Cara Dune, right?
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. I don't know for sure, but hey, if Cara Dune's back, what's that actress called?
I can't remember her name.
I can't remember her name.
My friend seems to hate her because she says controversial things on Twitter.
Oh my god!
Telling me about her before, I can't remember what her name is.
I know who her name is. That's the MMA fighter.
Oh god!
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, the one.
Oh gosh, she was in the Soderbergh film with Gina Carano.
Gina Carano,
yeah.
The one.
When it comes to what she says, it's whatever, man.
Yeah, she's got some controversial views. Let's put it that way. Sorry, go on.
No. I'm just with that. It's just those are her views. Trying to get her fired because she has a view is such a bizarre thing to me.
Yeah.
You have this view, so I want you fired. Anyway, carry on. Sorry, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm like, it's about the proven thing, really. I think at this point we've seen what Favreau's done with various projects, and we've seen what Filoni has done with various Star Wars projects. So it's just like I think The Mandalorian has just hammered it home that like what they can do for the Star Wars franchise is quite good. Like it's quite good. So
what they've done already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think the Rangers of the Republic has an even bigger scope because basically it's set. I'm guessing because it's a direct sequel from The Mandalorian, it's going to have a lot of the Republic patrolling and policing sort of their Republic, right? So it's also interesting to see how long before the Disney trilogy this is, because the First Order are going to have to come in at some point if they're going to branch that far. So yeah, I'm quite interested to see where this is going to go. I think it's going to be really good, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I mean, Jon Favreau hasn't put a wrong foot in the last 10 years. I'm quite confident in what he's doing.
Yeah,
he and his buddies.
Yeah, I can't really. When he does make a mistake, he kind of regroups and okay, well, I'll do this now. And
he also says that he made a mistake.
I haven't seen Iron Man 2, but a lot of people say that wasn't great. So
yeah, and to be quite honest, I mean, like, it's not that bad looking back on it now, but I remember at the time people were like, well, it ain't Iron Man 1, but you know what I mean? But then you look at it now, it fits in perfectly and it's fine. You know what I mean? It was back in the early days of the MCU. You look at it back now, it's not a bad movie. It's not even a shit movie. It's good. It's all right. But it's just not as good as the original. You know what I mean? So, which is fair enough. But I mean, yeah, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, they got this. And that's what I want to feel when I have an announcement of 10 shows. I want to look at them confidently and go, yeah, they got this, take my money. You know what I mean? And at the moment, I'm like, I've been burnt twice. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to be very frugal with my money. I'm going to criticize until I see shit. So I'm going to take each and every one of these IPs. And it'll just be, if I like what Tony Gilroy does, then cool. Go Andor. If I like Acolyte, fine, go the Acolyte. But at the moment, you know, by what you're telling me and how you're going about it, I don't know, man. I need something. I need more. You know what I mean? I need more than what I'm given. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go nuts over the latest Star Wars news. You know what I mean? Like a crazy person. I'm just going to be like, I need to know more. But this one, I don't need to know more because they got this. They've convinced me they know their shit. So, you know, and after watching the finale of Mandalorian today, I was like, wow, they did shit that I never thought I'd ever see in 1,000 years. And I'm like, yeah, they got this. Okay, fuck it. Those two guys should be in charge of the whole of Star Wars, but you can't get everything you want. So, you know, but saying that, going high on talking about these two, they're also in charge of the new animated show, The Bad Batch. If you guys don't know what The Bad Batch is, so Clone Wars, the animated series, you have the Clone Wars, and The Bad Batch are basically some defected clones. They're like a unit of clones that were like a bit defected, and they're a bunch of Clone Force commandos known as Clone Force 99, and basically they're like the A-Team of Star Wars, basically.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, they're literally a commando unit that go and sort shit out. And considering that this is set during the Order 66 era, so literally I do believe it's going to take off where Clone Wars left off, kind of thing. So Order 66 has happened, and we're going to see Order 66 through their eyes during this series. And that, to me, if you know what Order 66 is, that's that bit in Return of the Jedi where Palpatine just stands around like execute Order 66.
Return of the Jedi.
Clones. No, sorry, Revenge of the Sith. And then like the clones turn on all the Jedis and execute them and shit. So I think this has scope. You know what I mean? Like, if it's an A-team based show as well, maybe these guys don't have the chips in their heads to make them do the switch thing. And then, you know what I mean? That maybe they're helping Jedis, like, escape and shit. You know what I mean? Find refuge and shit. They're commandos for hire. So, yeah.
I would hate for them to be helping Jedi. I want to see them hunt Jedi. Basically, I think that would be quality, man. But obviously, because they're a defected batch of stormtroopers, they're probably not going to be listening to Palpatine in this. So, I still think it's going to be interesting though. But yeah, I mean, that angle of like seeing them hunt down Jedi would have been sick, like in groups and packs, and like seeing a Jedi like evade, but then they get him in the end. Like that would have been sick.
That's a pretty cool idea.
I'm still hopeful for this though. I think obviously again with the backing that it has, I vouch for it.
And there was a trailer, right? Oh yeah, you guys haven't seen the trailer, or?
I've not seen
the trailer actually.
Oh man, the trailer's sick, man. And they've also announced that Fennec from the woman that plays Fennec in Mandalorian, the Oriental woman. I've forgotten her name.
Oh, Ming-Ni Wan.
Yeah, she's in she's in the show as well as her character from The Mandalorian. So she's going to be a reoccurring character. So yeah, I mean, like I said, they've got this. Have
you noticed that there's a recurring theme with Filoni and Favreau shows of cross pollination, right? I think this is going to be a thing with Filoni. Like I think a lot of Star Wars YouTubers have been saying it as well, like calling it a Filoni-verse, right? Where like Filoni's got all of his characters that he's like bringing together into like different things.
Well, that's just it. He looks at like what's been established before because he's a fan, and then he tries and brings it into the show. He's done it loads of times in The Mandalorian. Ahsoka Tano, he invented the character in Clone Wars. It's not a spoiler that she's in The Mandalorian. He brought her and the character of Bo-Katan from those animated shows and put them into the live action. And,
that's not been done before.
Yeah, and then you've got... And also, he's such a huge fan. He was like, hang on, wait, we need some bad guys. Oh yeah, there was that game, Dark Forces. Let's bring in the Dark Troopers. The Dark Troopers are a thing now. So, you know what I mean? If I knew that Filoni was in charge of Rogue One, I know I'm getting my Wedge Antilles. You know what I mean? Like I know it deep in my bones, and I want to know, I want that feeling.
It's Rogue Squadron is the film.
What did I say?
Yeah, you said Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you got me.
To be honest, if Filoni was in charge of The Last Jedi, do you think what's his name would have got sucked out of the spaceship? I think Leia would
No, Admiral Akbar would be running shit.
Akbar would have been like celebrating at the end and shit.
No, he would have had more of a part. And if he did,
as far as I'm concerned, he's still alive.
Yeah, yeah, his species can live out in the vacuum of space. We've just made it canon.
Sorry, that was a disrespect. Just random event. Oh, okay, he's dead. No word is said. Nothing. Just.
I think they showed him for the first time 5 seconds prior to that as well. Like when he's at the control, he says something, and then they just kill him off like straight. It's like, what are you doing?
That was the first thing. It's like, oh, that's weird. Why would they kill? He's a fan favorite, and they didn't even give him anything. Anyway,
yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I keep ranting, and I want to stop doing it.
Okay, so moving on from that, last one from the Favreau Filoni verse, Ahsoka Tano is getting her own TV series.
Awesome.
Win.
Win.
It was the TV show that every Star Wars fan wanted. Let's be fair. Okay, everyone wanted to see her live action. We got a live action, and you know what? The minute they cast Rosario Dawson, you knew it was a straight up series straight away. Okay, that's the only reason to cast such a high A-list actor in a role like that. Unless you're doing something for some kind of longevity. And we're getting the series. When's it set? What's it about? Nobody knows. Everyone's pointing at if you've ever seen Star Wars Rebels, I'm not going to spoil it for Joe or Salmon because I know they haven't seen it. But there is a quest there at the end of that show. They kind of put her and another character called Sabine Wren in a position where they have to go questing. They have to go find a dear friend of theirs, basically. And it's kind of left like that. You know what I mean? For a story for another time. So a lot of Star Wars fans are wondering, without spoiling it, John, when it gets to your turn, I think a lot of Star Wars fans are wondering, are we going to get that? Is that the show? You know what I mean? For me, with Ahsoka's such a character where I don't think you should just pigeon her. Look, I trust Dave Filoni. If he wants to tell that story in this TV show, then because it's his character and he's the one that created Rebels, then, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that. You know what I mean? If it's not that, I'm just going to go for the ride, whatever he gives me. You know what I mean? Because he created that character and he created that show. So it's like, you take her wherever you want, John. You know what I mean? If it's set just after Clone Wars, that would intrigue me because I want to see like if there's an aftermath between her and Maul, because there's a Darth Maul kind of standoff there and a thing going on if you saw at the end of Clone Wars. So there's loads of stuff and loads of different eras that you could place this series and have it be good. I think logical sense, if you want to get the most of it, have it in the realm of the Mandalorian, which I think it is when it's set, because they did say in a conference that they're springboarding, you know, these two spin-offs, Rangers and Ahsoka, as like a double event where they could cross-pollinate between the two like they do in the Marvel movies. And I think they're going to lead up to an event thing, either a movie or another show. So we'll see what they do. But I'm really excited because Dave Filoni gets to show off this character again, and I think he's directing the pilot, they said, as well. So be interesting to see where they go with the character. It's a character that I've always wanted to see live action, and
I'm definitely hyped because I think like Lucasfilm are crying for like strong female characters, and I think Ahsoka is a perfect character for this type of like era, like in real life, to be honest. Like, she is a strong female character who is flawed, but is like very strong-willed as well. So I do like the fact that Ahsoka is getting her own series. I do think her scenes in Mandalorian points to what her series might be, and that might be a direct sequel to Rebels and those events that happen there. I do feel that might be it. Another route that they can go to, though, is just her personal struggles over what happened to Anakin and what happened in... But again, those are direct events that are foreshadowed in Rebels anyway. So, yeah, I think there's only one storyline that's going to happen with Ahsoka. I do think it's that. I think it's going to continue directly on from Rebels. I don't think that's a bad thing either. I do think as well that with Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and like obviously you've already introduced like Bo-Katan, as you mentioned as well. Like there could be, and Cara Dune, of course, as well. Like there could be a sort of Defenders like series. So we get Mando, then we get Rangers, and we get Ahsoka, and then at the end of it we get like this massive team up series for like 2 seasons or what. That would be pretty cool as well to see. I think that could happen with all the cross pollination that's going on.
I think that's what they were thinking at, because they're saying there's going to be some kind of event. Well, they haven't speculated was whether it's a movie or a TV show or
that's right. So I'm 2025 we'll get a great Star Wars team up for the first time ever. That would be quality. So I'm really, really excited about Ahsoka, to be honest.
Well, I don't really have much to say about it, but in terms of, I mean, Rosario Dawson was rumored for years, right? Or was that
a couple of years? I think there was like an artist's interpretation of what she would look like as Ahsoka Tano. And, you know, obviously it looked really, really good, and it just spread across the internet. And it was actually a case where the fans casted it, basically, because Ashley Epstein, the voiceover actress, she's a voiceover actress. She's not built. She does look the part when she does the cosplay and stuff, but you know what I mean? She's not a martial artist. She's not, you know, she's not known for stunts and stuff, and it's quite a physical role. Whereas Rosario Dawson has done all of these kind of things. She's got a proven track record as well. She's a bigger name, and they, you know what I mean, like the fans embraced her, and it was quite literally they at Lucasfilm and Dave Filoni looked at it and was like, you know what, that's actually a good shout, and they had the conversation with Rosario Dawson and they casted her. So, you know, and plus Rosario Dawson kind of retweeted around the time when everyone was there saying that she badly wants the role, you know. So it was kind of like a mutual decision, you know, everyone was in sync. So, but yeah. Salmon, you good? You taking a nap?
I'm good. No. Yeah, putting my eyes closed for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited about the show, and I can't wait to see what they'll do. And I like the fact it's going to be part of the whole Mandalorian and the other Republic show. Yeah, I mean, what they're going to end it with will be something interesting. I know they're planning more movies. I wonder which one, if it is a movie that I'll end up with, or it's going to be the show itself. But other than that, I mean, that episode in The Mandalorian with her in it was really good. And, I mean, if the Mandalorian didn't need to be there at the end of it. I mean, she carried the whole episode herself, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, so what else have we got? Ahsoka. We said the Bad Batch. All right, so we have two more. All right. So you've seen the NTs at the end of Mandalorian, huh? So,
yeah, I just finished it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that first.
Yeah.
The Book of Boba. The Book of Boba. So the rumors were true. There was a Boba Fett something that was going to get leaked, but they didn't save it for the investor conference. They saved it for the season finale of The Mandalorian. Thoughts? Boba Fett spin-off.
It's awesome. I mean, for a second there, I got a little confused with what was going on because it's a small thing. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I just remember this. It took me a couple of seconds and I got into it. So it's definitely going to be part of this show, or is it going to be part of a separate show? Is that what he's saying?
I think it's part of the Mandalorian universe because Filoni and Favreau are behind it. So,
yeah, I think it's going to be part of this show because as soon as it ended, it said, see you next in December 2, 2021. I'm like, they've done it perfectly, and in a way that they have pushed the Mandalorian about a month and a half. So whoever's got a yearly subscription now has to get another one when this comes out.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
My guess on that is that Mandalorian season 3 is going to air earlier, and then they're going to have that slot that they would have had for Mandalorian season 3 in December for the Boba Fett, whatever it is, series or movie.
I'm not sure they'll do that because at this moment people are tuning in for Mandalorian. They will keep that day for Mandalorian because it will guarantee them that whoever's gotten a yearly subscription to renew it. Whoever's paying per monthly, that's a different thing. Because if you have Amazon, if you notice what happens in the UK Amazon, that the Grand Tour gets released a month after it was released the previous year. It's because they're making sure that everybody who has gotten a yearly subscription gets one before the new one comes out. Yeah, and that way they get to know how many people are watching it. They also get to know why people have renewed as well. It gives you the power of the show and the power of the thing. So, and they also know that once they do it, they make sure that people do come back as well as trying to retain the clientele. And at this moment for Disney, Mandalorian's it, literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, because everything else used to come on, cinemas and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is not going to happen for a while. So anyway.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, you got a point there.
Mm.
I really want to know, like, I really hope that we get to see like a wider range of characters that Boba just deals with. It'll be interesting to see how big his sort of posse gets, like in this.
Yeah,
yeah. I think this is gonna be pretty good. Yeah.
Well, he's now a mob boss now, so you know.
Yeah. And what's her name? Mina Ming? No.
Oh God, I can't remember her name.
Maining
One.
Maining One. I don't know. I mean, I've been seeing this actress, watching her work for the last 20 years, and I still can't.
Since she was Chung Li.
Oh, yeah. Chung Li.
Oh,
then
wow.
She was Chung Li, and then she was in Star Wars universe, the Stargate universe, and I was a big Stargate fan. And then she was in Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and now she's in this.
Yeah.
She looks virtually identical to what she
I know.
Like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I know. She's blessed with some really good ass genes, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing she's in her 50s now, because I've been seeing her for the last 20 years, and she's always older. No, Chung Li, that's a long time before, isn't it? When was that?
1993?
93.
Yeah.
27 years. Right.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, so I take my hat off to her, man. Whatever she's got to deal with, she's doing it well, man.
There are only a few actors like that. I mean, do you know David Boreanaz, the guy from Bones, Angel, what it called, Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh yeah.
He's in what's this show called now? Seal.
Seal. I've not heard of that.
It's a Navy SEAL show, sort of a thing. Anyway, so if you look at it, this dude has been in 4 TV shows that have passed 4 seasons. One of them passed 12 seasons.
Oh, that was Bones, wasn't it?
That was Bones, yeah. 12 seasons for that. 6 seasons for Angel. I think 6 seasons for what I call Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well, or maybe 4, because I think he got a thing. And he's already done 3rd or 4th season for this. I mean, whoever is behind him, the guy does. I mean, his shows go on for years.
He's consistent.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. Not many people have been that lucky.
No. Is he in this show?
No. I just said it because of Chung Li or community that she's been consistently. We've been seeing her for like 27 years, and it's the funny thing because, well, I guess because she's Asian, maybe I don't know that she's never been the front forward. I mean, even in this Mandalorian, I mean, how many dialogues does she have? I think I've heard her speak twice.
Mainly in that first episode she was in. Joe, did you ever watch you saw the episode she was in? Yeah, so she's only in season 1 once, and I think that's the most she's spoken. I mean, in the second season, she's in 2 episodes, and she's in a lot of action. You know what I mean? She's doing a lot of action. But yeah, you're right. But then she's sharing screen presence with a lot of other characters in those episodes, you know?
Yeah, but you know what irritates me is that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first 3 seasons, she barely spoke as well.
Oh, really?
It was exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Like barely anything. And it's like she's playing the same sort of a character in the sense that she's, like an assassin, like a quiet assassin sort of a thing. Anyway. Yeah.
I guess the next one's Obi-Wan, right?
Yep.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yep. Ewan McGregor returning.
Ewan McGregor is back. It's been official for a while. The director is Deborah Chow, who directed quite a few episodes now for Mandalorian. She did, what was it, episode 3 of season 1. And that was the one where you first heard the phrase, "This is the way." And she directed the second to last one. Yeah, because the last one was Tiger. She did the second to last one. She's a very competent director. Like, she's done nothing but gold. She's a good TV director. She's handled Star Wars really well. She's clearly learning a lot of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I'm praying that they have input into the series, although they haven't announced who the showrunner is for this one yet. Ewan McGregor's back, and they've brought back Hayden Christensen. So
yeah, it's confirmed.
Yeah, that's
in Darth Vader suit, right?
They haven't
actually
said
confirmed to be in Darth.
They haven't.
I read something about them saying, I think after the fact, that he would be back and it would be in Vader suit. It might be a rumor though.
Well, I'm just going by the official, by the presentation because I watched it.
Yeah.
And on that, they didn't say what capacity other than he's in it. I would assume he would be in the Vader suit. I also wouldn't put it past them if they put episodes where it was set during the Clone Wars. Even though we've seen the Clone Wars and all the films, etc., I think it's another chance to redeem Hayden Christensen, to be honest, because the prequels, I know there's a fan base. I know you're a huge fan, John. But the acting, the dialogue, it was bollocks. It was pony. But no, I know I'm standing by it as a film, and I know a lot of people do rag on them. But the thing is, within saying that, Hayden Christensen, he wasn't a star like Ewan McGregor or Natalie Portman or any of those guys. He was an unknown guy that had a role of a lifetime, and he's been judged on that one role. And you know what I mean? It didn't really take him anywhere because they're only going to judge you on one role. This is a second chance for him because he's going to be under a competent director that's done a lot of TV work with a lot of actors. It's not being written by Lucas, so we're probably going to get a much better script, much better dialogue, and he's probably going to pull it out because he's going to be acting as fucking hot. He's going to be. It's a couple of years. It's like a good 12 years since Revenge of the Sith, 13 if you count when they shot it. So he's going to be pulling out all the stops there. I guarantee they're probably going to have some flashback sequences dealing with Obi-Wan's PTSD. They're probably going to have a whole episode dedicated to the Clone Wars to show them when they're friends, etc. Because they still both look the same. You know what I mean? You just got to age Ewan McGregor down with a little bit of makeup, not a lot, because his beard kind of took over his whole face in those prequels. So you know what I mean? Like they're both really well done. I think I've noticed there's a bit of controversy out there about, but when did they fight again? Because in the first film, he says, when I left you, I was but the learner. Well, okay, I need to address this before we move on in any shape or form, because I've been seeing this on other people's podcasts and stuff. Everyone's like, it can't happen, etc. Well, I think this is a perfect opportunity to clear up a plot hole that's been bugging me since Revenge of the Sith. In Return of the Jedi, okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi turns around to Luke Skywalker and he turns around to him and he goes, what do you call it? What does he say? He says, he's more machine now, twisted and evil. Before he says that, that was it. Luke turns around to Obi-Wan. He goes, but I can feel the good in him. I could turn him back to the good side. And then Obi-Wan's response was, I once thought as you did, but he's now twisted and evil. Now, if you once thought as he did, you got to understand that's a chosen piece of dialogue that they wanted in the script. Yeah, I mean, it's not a throwaway line. That's a specific feeling and a movement, and that's intended. Okay, so but for the context of that film, and if you thought that way, at what point did you think that during Revenge of the Sith? Because he would, if he was to have that feeling, he would have had to have been turned already. Do you see what I mean? If he thought he could bring him back to the good side, then it must have meant that he must have had another confrontation. You know what I mean? And furthermore, last time we saw him, that or Obi-Wan's a liar. It wouldn't be the first time, because he lied about him being his father. But do you know what I mean? That was to protect him. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I think that's grounds for a rematch, to be honest. And furthermore, it makes it more of a reason to watch the series because you got Vader and Obi again, But there's a lot of people taking A New Hope way too literally and forgetting about Return of the Jedi, because last time Obi-Wan saw Darth Vader, in terms of the audience point of view, he left him to die and burn it up like from a volcano. Fucking it's like you didn't try to save him shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like you didn't even attempt. So mine was made up, you know. And like when he did confront him prior, he was choking out Padme. So it was like it was game over. There was no I can feel the good in you. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So I don't know, man. I think it has grounds for a rematch. Again with everything else, hate to be the naysayer. It depends who the showrunner is as well. So I'm hoping it's someone good. But you know, I think Deborah Chow's a good solid choice with what she's done with Mandalorian. Hopefully she's learned some stuff from Filoni and Favreau. Hopefully they might have some input into it, and maybe we'll get those callbacks like how I see. But you know, we'll see. But yeah, Obi-Wan should have been the first movie out the gate or something out the gate, to be fair, because it's something people have wanted for a long time. But what do you guys think?
I'm actually excited about Obi-Wan Kenobi. The thing about these plot holes is that, you know, those 3 movies they made later on, they created a lot of nonsense like that, and I think they probably would have to ignore it in order to come up with something brilliant and don't have to worry about, oh, you know, he said that in that part, or she said that. Because it's, again, limiting. The other thing is that by doing this, they could overwrite the previous ones. I know there were people be moaning and about, oh no, he said that, that's it, you know, they did that. And they can't be worried about that at this moment because that's going to happen anyway. But I'm excited. And Ewan McGregor coming back, that could be fun. I mean, the guy I haven't seen him in a while as well. Has he done anything recently?
Yeah,
Dr. Sleep?
Dr. Sleep, yeah.
Dr. Sleep.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about it now.
Have you seen it? Or?
I don't think I have, but I do remember the trailer.
Oh, man,
it's a good film.
It's great.
It's very, very underrated. It didn't. Not many people talk about it, but it's a worthy sequel to Silence of the Lambs.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Shining, yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited.
I don't have. So go on, John.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, right. You were gonna say,
yeah, sorry. I was going to say, no, yeah, I am half excited, half not excited. It's really weird because I think whilst Obi-Wan is a good, it's good to cover. It's tricky because your window is so small of like to cover, especially when you're doing Obi-Wan and Tatooine. So yeah, I'm really interested to see if they make him go off of Tatooine, which I think isn't a good idea and wouldn't make much sense because he's on Tatooine to look after Luke. That's his whole thing there. So yeah, I'd be interested to see if he goes off Tatooine because in every other Star Wars content that you see him in, he doesn't. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. For instance, I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. I'm glad that Hayden's back because I think he got just like Jake Lloyd, he got a raw deal. But because he was older, he was able to deal with it a lot better than Jake Lloyd did. And this is the fandom side that I hate about the Star Wars franchises, that they're just films. Remember, they're just films, guys. These guys are actors. That kid didn't do anything to you. You may not have liked him in it, but didn't have to go that far with him. And if Hayden is, he seems like he's in a completely different place now, mentally wise, and I think he's looking forward to it, and I hope what they have in store is something that is worthy of him being either in the suit or having the flashbacks. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's intriguing all the same. You the fact that something's pulling you. I'm not sure about this, but I still want to watch it, and so that's the intriguing side for it, for me at least, anyway. because all of these shows that we've talked about, there could be all dog shit.
Yeah, disastrous.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, but again, intriguing. Taj.
Yeah, that's it. Got no more films.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay.
Well, nice.
All right then. Well, does anyone else have any little tidbits to add?
I was looking here. I mean, are these the films we're talking about today? Are the ones recently introduced, or are they the total ones? Okay. Because I was looking through a bunch of articles, and I keep on looking at these names, and I keep on thinking, which ones are they talking about? Is there a Taika Waititi Star Wars movie?
Oh yeah, sorry, we skipped that one. Not much is known about that other than he's writing and directing it. Yeah. That's all we know about it. We don't know anything more other than that. I mean, he directed a really good episode of The Mandalorian. He did the final one of season 1, and that was amazing. We'll see, man. We'll see. But at the moment, he's doing Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was a little confused. I thought maybe it was just a complete wait a minute. Rian Johnson's new Star Wars movie trilogy.
No, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
Oh, is it not?
No.
Hell if that's happening.
Or is it? Or is it?
No, it's not happening.
I have no idea. I'm just looking through this article.
You know what? He could have written the script for.
I'm sure.
All right.
I'm sure he did.
Okay. What I'm looking at is it's an article from Games Radar, right? So I'm going to flip through all these rumors. You guys tell me yay or nay, or just complete nonsense, right? So so we've said that Rian Johnson's may not happen, or probably not. This one says Kevin Feige Star Wars movie.
They never announced that, so that's still up in air. But they didn't announce it at the thing. So
J.D. Dillard's Star Wars movie.
Who?
Which one? J.D. Dillard's. I have no idea what this is.
Who's J.D. Dillard? I'm
just trying to figure out who this is. And I have no clue. It's just pure nonsense.
J.D. Dillard. J.D. Hang on.
Oops. Yeah, anybody? That's it. That's the last one that I have that is on here that I don't know what it is. Let me see what it says here.
Star Wars news is a bit slow, actually. In terms of that announcement, that announcement was sort of one of the first announcements for a while regarding Star Wars, officially anyway. Been a lot of rumors going about, but nothing concrete or substantial at the minute.
Yeah, that's fake. That's not news. J.D. Dillard. Yeah, no.
Because I mean, the other film they're talking about, I haven't even heard of that one either. So, never mind. That's all good. That's all good. Anyway, yeah, that was a good last episode.
Yeah.
Joe's disappeared, so I'm talking now.
Watch Mando. Everyone watch Mando. Yeah, that was just
what?
Really...
Yeah, you're right. I love the fact that they don't bother wasting time. Like, the episodes are not like, it's got to be 42 minutes, right? They're all over the place. Mostly they're around 30-ish. Yeah. And they really just fill it up with the stuff that is just needed. Nothing extra. Yeah. And that I'm very impressed by. Because people tend to go like, oh, no, we have to have a set amount of time within the episode and we got to, But the thing is, most of that is because of the regular TV where they're going to sell commercials, and you know why they've done the 42, 44 minutes. Due to streaming, they can do whatever they want. I'm talking, Joe, about the fact that Mandalorian's episodes are all over the place, as in the time length of each episode.
Right. Yeah.
They can be 30 minutes, 28 minutes, to 40 minutes, or 58 minutes if they like,
Yeah, they don't have to pander to any advertisements or anything, or
exactly
set storylines in a particular way. So
I'm saying that what it does is that it does help them just put exactly what they want and nothing else, nothing extra, and it delivers really well.
Go.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I am the man that killed Jaime Lannister.